Can you hear me? Test 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Can you hear me? Test 1, 2. Test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Test 1, 2, 3, 4. Test, test. I don't have my phone, John. Okay. Thanks, buddy. When you get a chance, check the stream. Thanks, John. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Forest City High School as we get set for volleyball tonight on KIOW and live at KIOW.com. Hello, everybody. Zarin Agastal with you as we are excited for this matchup between Forest City and the Belmond-Klemme Broncos coming to town this evening to take on the Forest City Indians. Before we get too far into tonight's action, we want to say thanks to our great pregame show sponsor. Our pregame show sponsor tonight is Kingland Construction Service in Forest City. Kingland is proud of North Iowa and loves to support the area in many ways. When you need to build a house, outdoor building, or even remodel, call Kingland Construction Service today at 641-585-0101. Again, that's 641-585-0101. Kingland Construction Service in Forest City today. Well, we've got a matchup of two teams in the top of Iowa West, both of which come in with winning conference records on the season. And Forest City coming off a fantastic weekend here at their own tournament, in which the Indians went 5-0 in their own tournament here this weekend, coming back after an 0-5 performance against really good competition at the Osage tournament. Forest City comes back playing some more good competition here at their home tournament. The Indians go 5-0 against the teams that they played against this past weekend, and puts their overall record at 10-5. They are 5-0 in the top of Iowa West. Belmond-Klemme, on the other hand, are 7-8 coming into tonight's contest. The Broncos are 3-2 in their first 5 conference matches. We are closing towards the end. It's crazy to think about, but there's just a few conference matches that remain here in the high school volleyball season. When we look at the conference standings, Lake Mills and Forest City, what's new? Those two teams stand atop the top of Iowa West Conference standings. Both are 5-0, and both need to win a couple more conference games to push themselves into one of those conference take-it-all championship matches like we've seen for the last nearly decade now between Lake Mills and Forest City. Though there are teams that are right on the heels, including this Belmond-Klemme team. This Belmont team is only 2 games out of first place right now at 3-2. If they can get a win tonight over Forest City and get a couple more losses for both Forest City and Lake Mills, and Belmond-Klemme right there towards the top. Though the best team in reach right now of Lake Mills and Forest City is Bishop Garrigan. The Golden Bears are 4-1. They've already lost to Lake Mills, but will take on Forest City a little bit later on this season, and they got their chance trying to get a little bit closer. They still need some help, though, to be able to win the conference championship. They would need to beat Forest City, win out, and have Forest City or somebody else defeat Lake Mills in order to put themselves in contention. Again, Forest City and Lake Mills both control their own destiny when it comes to conference championships. Both of them 5-0. All they need to do is win out. When it comes to Bishop Garrigan would need help, as they are going to need somebody to beat the Lake Mills Bulldogs, and they would need to win out the rest of the conference season. As we mentioned, Forest City comes in at 10-5 overall. The Indians are playing in their 16th match of the season, where the Broncos of Belmond-Klemme are 7-8 so far this season. We'll take a break. We'll come back. We'll talk more about these two teams. We'll get you set for volleyball tonight between Forest City and Belmond-Klemme. We'll come back in 2 minutes. You're listening to Forest City and Belmond-Klemme Bronco volleyball here on KIOW. Welcome back here on KIOW and live at KIOW.com. It's also senior night going on here at Forest City. We'll get to highlight some of the seniors throughout tonight's broadcast. Those seniors were able to come out and get their names announced before the start of tonight's match. And so they were introduced here in front of the crowd at Forest City High School. It's starting to fill in pretty nicely as well. Quite a few fans have made their way here from Belmond just below us, and across the way, of course, the Forest City crowd here tonight is filling in quite nicely as well. Well, for this Belmond-Klemme Bronco team, two returning all-conference players for Belmond-Klemme from last year. We start first on the outside. Senior outside hitter Allie Barris comes back after a second-team all-conference performance a year ago. So far this year, she's played in 9 of Belmond-Klemme's matches, 26 total sets this year for Barris. She has 71 kills and 181 attempts. She also has 4 blocks, 74 digs, and is 74 of 86 serving, 86% with 18 aces this year. She also had herself kind of a record-tying night already as she tied Belmond-Klemme's career kills record in one match. So she had that earlier this season as well. So a good season for Barris to be able to get that. And then also another record-tying performance for Belmond-Klemme earlier this year was London Young, their senior setter. She was an honorable mention all-conference performer last year for Belmond-Klemme. Another senior for the Broncos. She tied Belmond-Klemme's match assist record earlier in a match earlier this year as well. So 2 record-tying performances for 2 Broncos seniors, both of which are returning all-conference players for Belmond-Klemme. Young has 246 assists, 8 kills on 36 attempts this year, 64 digs, and she's 106 of 109 serving with 11 aces. So a good job for Young so far to start this season for the Broncos. Some of the other athletes we're going to see tonight that have had good starts to this year. Quinn Gabrielson, we talked about her last year, all year as a freshman in just about every sport for Belmond-Klemme. Gabrielson, now a sophomore outside hitter, has played in 43 sets this year, 15 matches started, 15 matches played. She'll get the start again tonight at outside hitter. 71 kills and 295 attempts so far this year. 71 digs. She's 93 of 106, serving with 8 aces. That's 87.7% for Gabrielson this year. Elena Gret, another sophomore we're going to see, got 34 digs this year. She's going to get a start tonight for the Belmond-Klemme Broncos tonight as well. So those are some of the key players you're going to see for Belmond this evening. Belmond comes in averaging 20.3 kills per set, that's 304 kills on the season. They average about 7 ace serves per evening with 107 so far this year. As a team, they serve 88.5%. That's 683 of 772 serves they have served cleanly this year. They average 28.5, or a little over 28.5 digs per set. That's 432 on the season, and they average 3.3 blocks per set. That's 49 on the season. Compared to Forest City, the Indians average 25.6 kills per night. That's 384 so far this year. Forest City's 2 setters average about 22 assists per game. Per set, I should say, 330 this season. The Indians average about 6 ace serves per set. Forest City as a team serves a little over 90%, 90.6%. That's 698 of 770. So roughly about the same amount of serves that have happened between Forest City and Belmond-Klemme this year. The Indians average a few more digs, though, 35.9 digs per set. That's 538 this season. 4.5 blocks. Forest City has some good height in the middle, so we see those almost 5 blocks per set, 67 on the year, and the Indians have a total of 89 ace serves so far this season. Forest City is 10-5 overall. The Indians are 5-0 in the top of Iowa West. We'll come back in 1 minute where we will have starting lineups tonight between Forest City and Belmond-Klemme. They'll come your way in about 1 minute on the Kingland Construction pregame show. It's Forest City and Belmond-Klemme volleyball tonight on KIOW. after this. Welcome back here on KIOW, live at KIOW.com. Here's the starting lineups for the 7-8 Belmond-Klemme Broncos. A senior outside hitter, number 3 is Allison Ferris. A senior center, number 10 is London Young. A sophomore defensive specialist is number 12, Ella Negrete. A sophomore outside hitter, number 21. A sophomore is Quinn Gabrielson. A junior libero is number 2, Bailey Steenblom. A junior middle hitter is number 26, Chloe Hampshire. And a sophomore middle hitter, number 31, is Addie Lamb. Broncos are 7-8 so far this season. Forest City starting lineup will look like this. A junior hitter, number 5, is 5'7", Jaden Jerome. A junior center, number 6, Jenna Walker. A sophomore middle hitter, 5'10", number 7, Bethany Warren. A senior hitter for the Indians, number 8 and 5'6" is Carly Lambert. A junior right side, number 11, 5'7" is Jalen Hovinga. A senior middle hitter, number 13, Julia Anderson at 5'10". And the Indians libero is a junior libero, number 21 and 5'5", Emma Anderson. The Indians are coached by 12th-year head coach Lacey Jerome, who has accumulated 283 career wins for Forest City, who is 10-5 overall and 5-0 in the top of Iowa West. We'll take a break from the national anthem. We'll come back for first serve between Belmond-Klemme and Forest City right after this. After this. Welcome back here on KIOW and live at KIOW.com. Zara Negestal with you from Forest City High School as we get set for Belmond-Klemme and Forest City. Our officials for tonight, our R1 is Larry Eichman, and our R2 is Todd Bryman. The officials in the new blue, yes, blue. If you've been to volleyball matches, you're probably accustomed to white shirts for the volleyball officials, but they've gone to blue. So we're seeing them in action for the first time. Heard that we saw some at the tournaments this past weekend, but blue shirts for the officials. It'll also be blue tonight for Belmond-Klemme. That'll be on the right side of your radio dial, right side of your screen. It's blue jerseys with green numbers. Those green numbers are outlined in white. Belmond-Klemme is on their backs. Broncos across their chest numbers are on front and back. Forest City in their usual grays, whether they're on the road at home, they're in those grays. Gray jerseys for the Indians, white numbers on front and back, Indians on back also in white. Libero is gray for Belmond-Klemme, it's white for Forest City, and we are underway with the Indians getting a block. Jalen Hovinga with a block. Ferris will free ball to the Forest City side. Anderson will take, they'll set up to Hovinga now, and she'll find the first kill of the match. So Hovinga found a block, nearly got a point for Forest City to start things off but she will anyway as she gets a kill for Forest City, and it's 1-0 Indians here early in set number 1. Jaden Jerome will serve now for Forest City. The 5'7" junior sends it over. Taken. Young will set this one up to Barris. Barris trying to get a kill, but she sends it long, and Forest City leads 2-0. We're going to see that combination quite a bit tonight from Young to Barris. You see it there, but the attack just a bit long for the senior. Jerome will serve again, 2-0 Indians. It's taken there by Gabrielson, sent up by Young. Again, it will be Barris on the attack, and this time it's going to be a point for Belmond-Klemme as it was touched by Walker. So Walker on the touch, the point will go to the Broncos. It's a kill for Barris, and Belmond-Klemme now back to within 1. It's 2-1. The libero will serve now. That's Steenblock, the junior libero. Serves in the middle of the court, taken by Forest City. Indians will free ball with Jerome, taken by Gabrielson. It's set by Young. Here's Barris on her third attack of the night. Taken by Anderson nicely. That's Emma Anderson. Now Hovinga for Forest City. Steenblock will pass. It'll have to be sent from Negrete in the back row to the Forest City side. Anderson receives, sent by Jerome. Carly Lambert pushes it over, and it's going to get down. Carly Lambert just tapped it over and found a place where there were no Broncos, and that's going to be a point for the Indians, and it's now 3-1. As Forest City will lead. Osmond Roberts is in for Forest City, sends that one a bit long. Here on point for the Broncos. It's now 3-2. Belmond-Klemme back to within 1. And the serve will come from Young. Young serving about 85% this year. And that time she sends it long. And wide as it misses the court. It's on the Indians logo on the far side. And it's now 4-2, Forest City by 2. And the Indians will serve once again. It'll be another senior for Forest City, Julia Anderson. He sends this one over, and it's going to be a point for Belmond-Klemme. Forest City miscommunication. That one went over and nearly went down for an ace. The Broncos were able to save it. Barris just tapped it over, and nobody from Forest City touched it. It just went right down to the Indian side as everybody looked at each other. 4-3 now the score. Belmond-Klemme back to within 1. Barris will jump serve. Taken by Anderson. Sent up by Jerome. Hovinga pushes it over. Taken by the Broncos. Young will set in the middle. Blocked by the Indians. It'll be a point for Belmond-Klemme, though Forest City was in the net, as they're going to call it on Hovinga. So Warren and Hovinga were there for the Forest City block, but it's going to be called in the net. Hovinga was in the net, is what the official whistled. So Barris will serve again, and it will be a Bronco point. We're tied 4-4. Young will set this one up to Gabrielson on the outside. It's taken by the Indians. Here is Hovinga from the 10-foot line. Kept alive by Belmond-Klemme, but now it's going to go down as the Broncos were in miscommunication that time, and it lands in the backcourt. It's Forest City 5, Belmond-Klemme 4. The Indians lead by 1. We're in our first set of action tonight between Forest City and Belmond-Klemme. The serve will come from Jalen Hovinga. Hovinga will start at the bottom block of the basketball court, take 2 steps, send it over. Young, Gabrielson, and that is down for a kill. Quinn Gabrielson has a kill for the Broncos as the Indians try to dig it out, but were unable to get to it. So Belmond-Klemme ties it again at 5-5. And the serve will come for the Broncos, taken by Kraft, sent up in the middle for Warren. She sends it to the back row. It's received nicely by Hopscheid. Here's Gabrielson. Now she sends this one well long, all the way back to the back wall, and it's now 6-5, Forest City back in the lead. So the Indians have led throughout. Their largest lead so far has only been 2 at 4-2. Otherwise, Belmond-Klemme has been right there with the Indians. They also led 2-0 at 1 point. Here's a serve from Jenna Walker. Going to be taken there by the libero Steenblock. Pushed over by Gabrielson. Taken by Jenna Walker in the back row. Here's Anderson. Now Jerome. Taken there by Steenblock. Set by Young. Here's a chance in the middle. It's blocked by Forest City, but it's going to be a kill for Addie Lamb. So Lamb will find the kill in the middle for Belmond-Klemme. Forest City was unable to get the full block on it. And we're tied once again at 6-6. Here's a serve by Doherty. Taken by the Indians. Jerome pushes it over. Good dig by Barris, but it's an overpass all the way back to Bethany Warren, and she sends that one straight back to the floor. So a good dig there by Barris, but it came on an overpass right back to Forest City. And Warren was able to send that straight back down to the floor, and it's now 7-6, Forest City back in the lead by 1. Was that on the line? No, he was out. Anderson trying to dangerously serve down the line, and it just goes out, says the line judge. So we're tied again at 7-7. This will be Lamb. 76% server on the season. She'll send it over, and it's out. So the point will go to the Indians. It's now 8-7. And Jerome will serve. Jerome bounces a couple of times, takes 2 steps, sends it over the net. That's an ace. Jaden Jerome has another ace serve for Forest City. That's ace number 21 on the season for Jerome, which leads Forest City as a team. 21 aces. Excuse me. Hovinga has 24. Jerome right behind her. Hovinga leads the team with 24 aces. Here's Barris on an attack, dug out by Jenna Walker, set by Jerome to Dylan Hovinga, and that's going to be another kill for Hovinga. So Hovinga leads the team with aces with 24 on the season. Bolsters that with now 29 kills. And there's another ace serve for the Indians, another ace serve for Jaden Jerome. Timeout, Belmond-Klemme. Forest City has taken their largest lead of 4. It's 11-7. We'll come back in 1 minute. Taken by the Indians, or pardon me, taken by Belmond-Klemme. Straight out of a timeout. It'll be a point for Forest City as Julia Anderson's going to get a block. Serves by the Indians, taken by Belmond-Klemme, came right back to Julia Anderson, and she was able to throw that one right down to the floor, and Forest City's largest lead now is extended as Forest City leads 13-7. They must have did a score correction during that timeout. We went to timeout. I thought it was 11-7, but now all of a sudden it's 13-7 after 1 point out of the timeout. So it looks like 12-7 at the time of the timeout. It's now 13-7 Forest City. Here's the Broncos. Gabrielson, free ball to the Indians side. Here's Jerome, still set it up in the middle for Anderson. It's dug out there by the Broncos, kept alive nicely by Young. She keeps it alive here with the Indians now as Carly Lambert sends it over. Gabrielson keeps it alive. Here's Barris on an attack. Good block by Forest City. Belmont will take again. They'll set it up in the middle to Lamb. Dug out by Jenna Walker. Here's Anderson. Now they got to go over 10-foot line. It's over by Hovinga. Set up by Young. Here's Barris on an attack. Blocked by Forest City. Taken by the Indians. Pushed over. Hovinga going to attack, and she sends it long. So a good rally there by both teams. Won by the Broncos, and kind of a point that Belmond-Klemme really needed, as the Indians were starting to run away here in the first set. But here comes Belmond-Klemme, and they're going to get the serve back and a chance to try to add on. Here's Walker, Hovinga, and the Indians will have to go over with Carly Lambert, but she sends it a bit long, and it'll be another point for Belmond-Klemme. So back-to-back points for the Broncos. Here they come. Serve taken by Forest City. Carly Lambert sends that one long, and it'll be now. I'm not sure this score is correct. Oh, they sent. Oh, no, it is correct. So that one went long with no touch, so it'll be a point for Belmond-Klemme. Make it 13-10. Let's keep it adjusting here. Here we go. Chance for Hovinga. Gabrielson will free ball to the Indian side. Jenna Walker. Jerome sets to Julia Anderson. Blocked by Belmond-Klemme. Here come the Broncos. And it's now 13-11. So Belmond-Klemme has made it from 13-7. It's now 13-11. 4 straight points for Belmond-Klemme. And the Broncos are to within 2. Walker digs. Jerome will pass. Got to go over. They will with Hovinga, and it's going to be a point for the Indians. Broncos unable to block, and Forest City is back in the lead by 3. As Roberts will come back and serve again for Forest City here on senior night. Sent over, taken there by the Broncos. Barris, dug out by Roberts. Good dig, and it's going to turn into a Forest City point. Good dig in the back row there by Roberts, and turns into a Forest City point. Huge play by the senior. 15-11 now, Forest City. They'll send this one over once again, but it'll fall short and hit the net, and it'll be a Bronco point. Belmond-Klemme back to within 3 as Brooklyn Kraft will come in. And the Broncos will serve. This will be Young who will serve for Belmond-Klemme. Taken by Kraft. Now Jerome. Walker, free ball. Young for Belmond-Klemme. Here's Barris on a big strike. That's into the ceiling. Forest City will take out of their own ceiling. Now Hovinga's going to try to keep it alive. She does. Indians good take out of the ceiling. Young will set up the Barris, and it's a kill for Belmond-Klemme on a touch by Forest City, and it's now 15-13. Broncos again back to within 2. Forest City led at one point 13-7 in this first set. And the Broncos have come back to make it 15-13 at our current point. Here's Hovinga on a big strike. That's a kill. Jalen Hovinga winds up and sends it to the floor. And it's now 16-13 Forest City. The Indians' lead is 3. Julia Anderson will send this one over, taken by her by Gabrielson. Now to Barris, kept alive by Jerome. That's the BK side, and that's going to be a block and a point for Belmond-Klemme. Then Hobscheit it was. She sent that one down to the floor. Here's a serve by Barris, taken, and it's going to be an ace. Indians touched once, but that's all they could do is it's an ace serve for Barris and Belmond-Klemme, and the Broncos are back to within 1. Brooklyn Kraft will come out, and Carly Lambert will go to the back row for Forest City. 16-15 is the score. Belmond-Klemme back to within 1, and the serve will come off of Lambert, and that's going to be another ace serve. Back-to-back ace serves for Barris and the Broncos, and we are tied at 16-16. As Kraft will come back in, Lambert will go back out. Barris came into this game with 18 ace serves on the year. She has 2 already in back-to-back, has 20 now on the season. Here's a chance for Bethany Warren, but she's not able to get enough on it, and Belmond-Klemme has their first lead of the set as they now lead 17-16. Forest City has led from the crack. The Indians led at one point 13-8, but here are the Broncos now leading 17-16. Jaden Jerome will set this one up to Hovinga, but that's going to be 4 hits on Forest City, and the Broncos lead by 2. Could be a timeout coming here for the Indians. No, Jerome will just be talking to her team from the side as she yelled some instructions in there. And it's 18-16, Belmond-Klemme by 2 over the Indians. Forest City led 13-7. 16-8 point is going to be sent long by Barris. A good position there for Barris as she had 2 ace serves and got the Broncos the lead. Now the Indians are back to within 1, 17-18, and Jalen Hovinga will serve for Forest City. Jalen Hovinga, 2 steps, sends it over. Gabrielson, Young, back to Gabrielson. That's a point for BK, and they're going to say Forest City was in the net. And they're going to call that on Bethany Warren, so Bethany Warren was in the net. Belmond-Klemme back in the lead, 19-17. This will be Hobscheit who will serve, the junior middle hitter. 86% server this season, taken by Kraft. Here's Jerome, and Jerome, no doubter, straight to the floor, and the Indians are back to within 1, 19-18. Carly Lambert's back in. Brooklyn Kraft will go back out. And the serve will come from Jenna Walker from left to right. Forest City leading this one 19-18. Belmond-Klemme leading this one 19-18. Make that 20-18 as the Indians serve will go long. Belmond-Klemme leads 20-18. See a serve coming for the Broncos. It'll be Doherty. Taken there by Walker. Now to Jerome over. Dug out by Barris, sent up by Young. Gabrielson taken by Anderson now for Forest City. And by Anderson, here's Jerome. And Jerome's got another kill. Good wind up and smash there for Jaden Jerome. Second kill of the set for her. And the Indians back to within one again. 20-19. Emma Anderson will serve. Left to right will come to serve from Anderson. Taken there by the Broncos. They got to go over with Gabrielson. It's Anderson, Ovinga, Carly Lambert. A big kill on Carly Lambert. Lambert a few weeks ago had an injury and has not played as of recent for Forest City. Got her first action back against West Hancock a week ago and comes up in a big way here for the Indians. For the senior on senior night, ties it back at 20-20. In the middle, Lamb sends that one long. So Addie Lamb sends that one long. It's now 21-20, Forest City back in the lead. Timeout, Belmond-Klemme, their second and final of the set. 21-20, Forest City leads. We're back in 1 minute. Welcome back here on KIOW and live at KIOW.com. Anderson sends it over, taken by Young. Set up to Lamb, and it gets in and down. Eddie Lamb sends that one to the back row, and it's in, and we're tied at 21. So a good timeout there by the Broncos to make it 21-21. Forest City had led throughout. They led at one point 13-7. And now Coach Jerome coming over and talking with our R2 about something. Not sure what they're talking about. And so the score has actually been corrected. And it's not 21-21, it's actually 21-20 in favor. I thought earlier there had been a scoring change. We thought earlier in that other timeout, we thought that Forest City was granted an extra point. And there it came off the board. So now we are 21-21. So Forest City needed another kill. And that was the conversation they were having, making sure that scoreboard was correct. And it was. And now it's 22-21 Forest City. The scoreboard is back corrected. Oh no, they called it touch, pardon me. I did not see that. So the point goes to Belmond-Klemme as a touch was called. And so it's 22-21 Belmond-Klemme. There was a touch that was called, but I did not see that. So it's actually Belmond-Klemme in the lead, 22-21. Then a Walker will set this one up to Jerome. Now to Hovinga, she'll make it 22-22. The Indians haven't had the lead. Back when we thought Forest City had the lead last at 21-20, actually at that point, the real score was 20-20. Forest City having their first, they're trying to find their first lead here, 22-22 in quite some time. London Young sets this one up. Here's Barris, and they'll have to wait as Barris sends that one down. Here come the Broncos, and Belmond-Klemme has a chance to put themselves in good position with the 24th point. Here in the first one, he gets that 24th point. Belmond-Klemme now leading Forest City 23-22. And timeout called by Forest City. So the Indians will call timeout. It's Belmond-Klemme 23, Forest City 22. We're back in 1 minute. Welcome back here on KIOW, live at KIOW.com. Belmond-Klemme leads Forest City 23-22. Here's the Indians taking Hovinga, trying to tie things up. No, it's 24-22 as Hovinga sends it into the net. And Belmond-Klemme now just 1 point away from taking the set from Forest City, and the Indians will call timeout once again. 24-22, Belmond-Klemme 1 point away. We'll come back in 1 more minute. After this. No bumper. Back here to Forest City High School. We are underway out of the timeout. They came out early, and Belmond-Klemme wins the set. Belmond-Klemme wins the set 25-22. The Broncos defeat the Indians. It's the first set Belmond-Klemme has taken from Forest City since 2019, and only the second set they have taken since 2008. But they take one here, and they are in the driver's seat of this match as Belmond-Klemme leads Forest City 1-0 after a wild set in which saw Forest City lead early. The Indians led early in that set 4-2. At 1 point led 13-7, but it was actually 12-7 because we had the scoring problems. It was actually 12-7 at that point, and that was Forest City's largest lead of 5 at 12-7. Belmond-Klemme comes back to take the lead. The Broncos' largest lead of the set is what the final score is, 25-22, 3 points their largest lead. But it doesn't matter how much it is. The Broncos win the set 25-22. We'll come back in 2 minutes for our second set. Our second set today is brought to you by A&W Family Restaurants in Forest City. Right now is a great time for a break. Get down to your local A&W store in Forest City for root beer floats, shakes, polar swirls, and more. See them on Highway 69 North in Forest City. A&W is the sponsor of our second set. We'll have that for you in a minute and a half. After this one. Welcome back here on KIOW. It's time for our A&W Family Restaurants of Forest City second set. I'll tell you, if I wasn't here right now, I'd be getting myself a Papa Burger with some cheese curds. It sounds really good right now. Get down to your local Forest City A&W. Still plenty of time to get some dinner there this evening. Second set underway. It will be taken by the Indians. Served first by Belmond-Klemme, and Broncos will start with the first point. So after Belmond-Klemme comes back to win set number 1, they're going to take point number 1 here in set number 2 as they lead 1-0. It'll be Gabrielson, the sophomore, that will send it over from the middle of the court. 2 steps taken by Anderson. It's set up by Hovinga. Here's Carly Lambert with a big strike, and that one's in. Carly Lambert finds a kill for the Indians here to tie it back at 1-1, and Jaden Jerome will go back to serve for Forest City. The junior will serve to the near side. Jerome, 92% server so far this season. She'll send it over the net. Taken there, and it'll be an ace serve. Another ace serve for Jerome, her 22nd of the year, her second of the night. And Forest City now leads 2-1. Jerome will bounce bounce a couple of times before she'll take 2 steps and send it over the net once again. Taken there by Gabriel. Forest City is in for a tough one. As the Broncos take the first set, 25-22. And now a serve into the net will give the Indians back the lead, 3-2. And serving there for Belmond-Klemme was Steenblock, the junior libero. Indians will substitute as Lambert will come out, and Brooklyn Kraft will go back to serve here for Forest City. Kraft will send this one over after she takes a couple of steps. Here's a chance for the Broncos. Sent deep. Anderson will play it. Here's Jerome, now Hovinga, and that one will go off the basketball hoop and come rocketing right back down to the floor, and Forest City leads 4-2. The Indians with the lead now. And Forest City will bring in they'll bring in senior Kyra Gibbs. So Gibbs will come in here for Forest City, the 5'9" senior. And that'll be a point. Forest City. Belmond-Klemme was in the net. The Broncos were in the net. It'll be Gabrielson, 21, is who I believe they called for. 5-2, Forest City by 3. Serve from Kraft is taken by the Broncos, sent over by Young. A chance for Forest City now as Gibbs sends it over, and that's going to be on the line. It's a kill. So Gibbs finds a kill for Forest City here on senior night. Nice to see that, and the Indians' lead is now 6-2. There'll be a chance for Brooklyn Kraft once again to help Forest City extend their lead. Gabrielson, Young, Hobscheit, Jerome, Brooklyn Kraft. Anderson will go over. That's Julia Anderson for Forest City. Young will pass it to Barris. Barris just lightly taps this one over the block of Forest City, and nobody behind was ready for it. Jerome did get a hand on it, but not enough to keep it into the air, and it's now 6-3. Belmond-Klemme is back to within 3. Forest City has the lead. And Young will serve again. This time skips over the top of the net. A good diving dig there for the Indians and Brooklyn Kraft. Back to the Broncos side. Here's Barris again. We'll just try with the loop over. Here's the Indians with a chance. Hovinga. Battle for it between Barris and Hovinga. Won by Barris. Forest City side. And that one goes into the net, and it's now 6-4. So Jenna Walker will come in for Forest City. As Gibbs will go out. And the Indians will lead 6-4, and the serve will come for London Young. Young serve taken there by the Indians. Sent up to Hovinga, and that's sent long. And it's now 6-5. Belmond-Klemme again making a run here at Forest City as the Indians led 6-2. Belmond-Klemme has made it now 6-5. They're back to within 1. Kraft, Jerome. Anderson goes over, kept alive by the Broncos. Barris, now Anderson for Forest City. That's Emma Anderson. Julia Anderson now sends it towards the floor, and that's going to be dug out, but dug into the scorer's table, so it'll be a point for Forest City. Good effort there by Steenblock. She made a chance at it, but the dig goes into the scorer's table, and it will be a point for Forest City. Julia Anderson will serve, and it's an ace serve. Julia Anderson with an ace serve for Forest City. Her fourth. And the Indians' lead now is 8-5, 4th of the year. Young. Julia Anderson into the middle for Bethany Warren. That's a kill for Bethany Warren. Bethany Warren has her second of the match, first of the set. And Forest City's lead is back to 4, 9-5. We'll take a break. Timeout on the court. Indians lead by 4, 9-5. We come back in 1 minute. Back here on KIOW, as that's going to be a point for the Indians. Steenbrock was trying to let it go. It's going to be another ace for Julia Anderson, as she now has 2 on the night. And that was just a accidental point there for the Broncos. The ball was going long, it was going deep, and Steenbrock was trying to run out of the way of it, but instead she ran right into the volleyball, and the volleyball hit off her side, and that's a point for the Indians. Now a lift for Belmond-Klemme, back-to-back points for Forest City, and the Indians have their largest lead of the entire match right now at 11-5. This time the serve will go out here on the near side. And it will be a point for Belmond-Klemme, make it 11-6. The Broncos will serve with Barris. Barris has a couple of ace serves tonight. Taken there by Anderson, set up by Jerome. Here's Bethany Warren, blocked by Belmond-Klemme. Pushed over by Jaden Jerome. Barris keeps it alive now. Young, they have to go over with Gabrielson. They do. This one's set up by Jerome. Jenna Walker sends it deep, and it'll be a point for the Broncos. The back-to-back point for Belmond-Klemme, and it's now 11-7. As Allie Barris will go back to serve once again. So back-to-back points for the Broncos make it 11-7. And Barris will continue to serve for BK. Taken there by Anderson, set up by Jerome. On to the right side, that is Hovinga, and it's a point and a kill for Jalen Hovinga. She's got 6, which leads, ties Barris, which leads for everybody, both teams, all scorers tonight. Barris and Hovinga both have 6 kills. And with that kill, Hovinga will go back to serve. And it's down. Belmond-Klemme unable to retrieve it. Point for the Indians is now 13-7. Forest City back to this 13-7 lead is right where the Indians had it in set number 1 before they saw the whole set come collapsing down on them. Young, Gabrielson, here's Kraft, sent up by the Indians to Jerome. And it's going to be a point for Forest City as Belmond-Klemme was in the net. They're going to call, not sure who they whistled for it, I believe, was it Doherty? I believe Doherty maybe called into the net, make it 14-7. Served by Hovinga. Set up. The Gabrielson blocked, but onto the Forest City side. It'll be a point and a kill for the sophomore outside hitter, Quinn Gabrielson. 70 kills on the season for her. She has her 2nd tonight, 73 on the season. Hobscheit serves taken by Kraft. Set up to Jerome by Hovinga. And it's a point for Forest City on a touch by Belmond-Klemme. 15-8 is the lead. Forest City still has it by 7 over the Broncos. And Jenna Walker will serve. Jenna Walker's serve taken by Belmond-Klemme. Gabrielson, Lamb now will push to the Forest City side, and the Indians just couldn't quite get it. And Gabrielson just pushed into the back row, and nobody from Forest City could catch up to it. And it's now 15-9. Serve over the net taken by Anderson, set up to Carly Lambert, who sends it into the net. And Belmond-Klemme has back-to-back points, make it 15-10. The Broncos back to within 5. And it's 15-10. Over the net, Anderson. Here's Belmond-Klemme now. Barris. And a touch on Forest City, out of bounds. Indians with a touch. It goes long off of the touch. And it's now 15-11. 15-11 point Broncos. Belmond-Klemme back to within 4. Serve taken by Walker. Jerome calls it out. She sends it over. It's sent up to Lamb. And it's going to be another touch on Forest City as it goes out off the Indians. And Colette Logus is going to see her first action of the night, as Logus will come in for Jenna Walker. So Colette Logus is in for the first time tonight, 15-12. The sophomore defensive specialist, 5'5" is what she stands. Has played 15 sets now. 29 sets in 15 matches now, and that's a kill for Jaden Jerome. And Jerome picks up another one, her 5th of the night. 16-12, Forest City by 4. Anderson, Emma Anderson serves, and that's an ace serve. Emma Anderson finds the floor for the Indians, and she serves ace number 7 of the season, her first tonight. There's a chance for the Broncos. They set up to Barris. Barris sends it deep. Good set there by Young, and Barris had a nice attack on it, but just a bit long. And it's now 18-12. Timeout, Belmond-Klemme. The Indians lead by 6. We'll come back in 1 minute. Welcome back here on KIOW and live at KIOW.com. Anderson sends this one over, taken by the Broncos. Here's Lamb, and that's going to be a kill for Addie Lamb. So Belmond-Klemme comes out of the timeout, finds a kill right away, and make it 18-13. Broncos back to within 5. And the serve will come from Gabrielson. Gabrielson sends it over, taken by Anderson. That's Emma Anderson, sent up to Jerome on the right side, and Jaden Jerome, just beautiful touch there from Jaden Jerome. She winds up like she's going to kill it. Everybody gets back to try to dig it, and instead Jerome just puts the change-up on it and just takes a lot off of it. And nobody ready for it as they're all backed up, ready to try to dig it out on a hard attack by Jerome. Instead, it comes off softly and just down for a kill. Her 6th of the night, that ties her teammate Hovinga. Here's Barris, who leads all scorers tonight with 7 kills. That time she sends it into the net. And Forest City now leads 20-13. The Indians trying to answer back after Belmond-Klemme took the first set. Belmond-Klemme wins set number 1, 25-22. Now the Indians trying to answer, 20-13. And Forest City, can they add on? No, Gabrielson will free ball the Forest City side. Colette Logus from the back row. Set up Jerome. Here's Julia Anderson. Good take by Gabrielson. They got to go over with Lamb, and that might have been a lift. It is going to be a lift. I thought so. Lamb really got underneath that one, and it's 21-13. 21-13 is the score. Forest City 4 points away from taking set 2. And it'll be a serve from Jaden Jerome into the net. So Jerome trying to get the Indians back on the board. That one's into the net, though. 21-14. Broncos back to within 7. And we'll see a serve coming by the libero, Steenblock. Over the net, taken by Colette Logus. Anderson, pushed over by Hovinga. Can Belmond-Klemme keep it alive from the back row? Steenblock will free ball to the Forest City side. Jerome, the far side. Hovinga winds up and smacks it down. That's kill number 7 of the night for Hovinga. She ties Barris to lead all scorers, and Forest City is at 22-14. Is the Indians lead here in set number 2. Our A&W Family Restaurants of Forest City. A&W, sponsor of our set number 2, and the Indians trying to win this one, but another service error on Forest City gives the serve back to the Broncos, 22-15. Serve coming from Young, senior setter, honorable all-conference honorable mention last year. Blocked by Belmond-Klemme, kept alive by the Indians on an overpass to the Broncos side. Forest City one more time. No, it's going to be a lift on Forest City. So back-to-back points for Belmond-Klemme. Makes it 22-16. And Young will go back to serve. Young, 85% server this season for the Broncos. Taken there by Kraft. Here's Jerome. Now Colette Logus over. That's a kill. Colette Logus, who will play different positions for Forest City. Sometimes she'll hit, sometimes she'll be in a DS role for Forest City, depending on what they need. There she's hitting, and she finds a kill. That is her first of the night, 23-16. Over the net taken by the Broncos, and Belmond-Klemme miscommunication. Everybody watched it hit the floor after the set by Young. Nobody attacked it, and it's 24-16, and Forest City is 1 point away from taking the set. Julia Anderson will serve, set point. Gabrielson set up by Young. Here's top shot blocked by Bethany Warren, and that will do it. Bethany Warren finds a big block for Forest City, and they win set number 2, 25-16. Our set number 2 today was brought to you by A&W Family Restaurants of Forest City. Our set 3 is brought to you by Waldorf University. Waldorf supports our local athletes and looks forward to helping them further their educations and careers. Find out how to become a Warrior today at waldorf.edu. That's waldorf.edu to learn how to become a Warrior today. Again, waldorf.edu. We'll talk more about the Waldorf Warriors and what's going on around campus at Waldorf. When we come back, we'll come back in 2 minutes for set number 3, brought to you by A&W Family Restaurants, by Waldorf University of Forest City. Welcome back here on KIOW and live at KIOW.com. Well, what's going on with Waldorf University? First of all, our Waldorf University Coaches Show, Warriors Live, comes back here to KIOW tomorrow night as I will sit down with Waldorf head football coach Will Finley. We'll also be joined by Mr. 2000. Sam Huntley will join us on the show along with Tyler Dennis, a defensive back from Nevada, will all join us tomorrow on the Coaches Show. Finley will talk about the win last week, 4-0. Waldorf is. They're also ranked in the country for the first time this season, as they are ranked number 24 in the NAI coaches poll. So Waldorf ranked, and we'll talk with head football coach Will Finley. His first time being ranked as a head football coach. We'll have that for you tomorrow, 7 to 8 p.m. right here on KIOW. What's going on? What else is going on? Well, the Waldorf volleyball team, assistant coach Matt Ebenho is here tonight, watching his local Forest City and Belmond-Klemme Broncos team. See him up there in the top row. Him and his Warriors going to be taking on a couple of conference opponents at home on both Friday night and Saturday. So go out and check out the Waldorf volleyball team as they are at home against a couple of conference foes on Friday night and Saturday as they start the bulk of their North Star Athletic Association play. So go check that out. Should be a lot of fun. We'll get back to volleyball here, though, as we're set for set number 3, Forest City. And the Belmond-Klemme Broncos 1-1. That is going to be a ball that's sent deep. No touch, and it's a point for Forest City. Scoreboard gave it to the Broncos. There was no touch. It's point Forest City. It's 1-0. We'll see a serve coming here by Jerome. Taken by Gabrielson, set in the middle to Lamb. Blocked, but blocked out. So we have a point for the Broncos now on an Indians touch, and it's 1-1. Serve coming for BK. That'll be the libero Steenblock who will do. serving. Taken there by Colette Logus. Here is Hovinga, and that's down for a kill. Jalen Hovinga with a big strike and a kill. It's now 2-1. Forest City leads. Brooklyn Kraft will come in as Carly Lambert will go out. And Brooklyn Kraft will go back to serve here for Forest City. Couple of steps, and Kraft will send the diving serve over the net. Torpedo nearly gets down for an ace, but the Broncos are able to dig it out. Here comes Forest City back the other way now, and that's sent long out of the hands of Julia Anderson. It's now a 2-2 score here in set 3. We will play at least 4 tonight between Forest City and Belmond-Klemme. We will play at least 4. 2-2 our score currently. Serve over the net taken by Anderson. Here's Jerome. Pushed over by Hovinga. Young. And a big strike for Habscheid. She finds herself a kill, and the Broncos lead 3-2. Belmond-Klemme leading over Forest City 3-2 here in set number 3. It's 1-1 in our sets. Broncos took the first set, 25-22. Indians took the last set, 25-16. Julia Anderson, Emma Anderson, and Jaden Jerome collide, but Forest City is able to free ball into the BK side. Here's an attack by Barris, and that's down. Broncos by 2 here in set number 3. Waldorf University set number 3. Broncos of Belmond-Klemme leading Forest City 4-2. Serve from Young, taken by Julia Anderson. Now Jerome. Here's an attack by Hovinga, and it's a kill. Jalen Hovinga has her 9th kill, which leads all now for Forest City, and we'll see Julia Anderson serve for the Indians. Forest City back to within 1. Young sets it up to Barris on the right side, and Barris sends it long. Point Forest City. It's 4-4. 4-4 our score. Julia Anderson will serve. Once again, our officials who joined us late, not in the pregame show, and didn't hear it. The officials wearing blue now instead of that white. Here's a chance, an attack and a kill for Belmond-Klemme. Doherty finds the kill. 5-4, Forest City leads. So our officials in that light blue, real light blue, a lighter version of a royal blue. And point Belmond-Klemme, and the Indians will give it back to the Broncos here, 6-4. A chance for Barris. And that's going to be an ace. The BK finds another ace. And they lead the Indians 7-4, so the Broncos all over Forest City right now in set number 3, 7-4. Taking the first set. Winner of this set is in the driver's seat. They only need to take 1 more. The loser of this set has to win 2 in a row. Here's Kraft, now Jerome. We'll set up to Hovinga, and it's a point for Forest City. It'll be a touch on BK. Off a block. And out on the touch. 7-5, Forest City trails BK. But the Indians will serve, and it will be Jalen Hovinga who will do so. Into the net. Now 8-5. And it'll be Habscheid who will serve for Belmond-Klemme. Playing in her 46th set of the season. Habscheid sends it over, taken by Kraft. Jalen Hovinga. Let Logus over. Barris will pass it to Gabrielson to the Forest City side. The Indians will set it up for Jerome. An attack by Jerome taken by the Broncos. Now set up to Gabrielson on the attack. Kept alive by BK. Lamb. Kraft will set it in the middle to Bethany Warren. Kept alive again by BK. As Lamb will set it up to Gabrielson. And Gabrielson didn't get all on that one. But the point will go to BK as it will fall down to the floor. And Brenna Geeson is in for the first time tonight. The sophomore middle hitter Geeson, 5'10" is what she stands, playing in her 12th match. 14th set of the season for her. Ovinga, that's into the antenna. Indians hit it into the antenna, and the Broncos lead by 5. It's Belmond-Klemme 10, Forest City 5. Timeout Indians. We come back in 1 minute. Welcome back here on KIOW and live at KIOW.com. Forest City trails Belmond-Klemme by the largest they have in this set. Largest they have actually in any set during this match. The Indians trail by 5. Here's Jerome with a strike. Trying to get Forest City back on the board. Here's Lamb, now Gabrielson over. Jerome digs. Set by Hovinga. Colette Logus over, and that's a point and a kill for Colette Logus, her second of the night. Colette Logus will have the kill, and the Indians are back to within 4 as Kraft will come out and Lambert will come in. Colette Logus will go back to serve. Logus has only served 15 times this year. She's 12 of 15. And she will serve here. Over the net, taken by Gabrielson. Set up to Lamb, and that's into the net. And back down, Forest City scores, make the Indians back to within 3, 10-7. And Colette Logus will continue to serve. Logus, the sophomore, playing in her 31st set of the season. Sends it over. Barris takes Young. Passes, decent block for the Indians. Here Forest City will set it up, run into the net, and it's on the floor. Point Broncos, 11-7. Belmond-Klemme leads by 4. So we'll see a serve coming from Doherty now. For BK, 91% server on the year. Taken by Emma Anderson, Geeson in the middle, and a point Forest City into the net. The Broncos were in the net. And it's going to be Gabrielson. So Gabrielson is called for in the net. Don't think she agreed. But the point will go to Forest City. It's now 11-8. As all 3 of the Broncos that were at the front of the net all turned and looked at the official as he was getting ready to signal what number it was. Now an ace serve by Emma Anderson. It's at 11-9, and then Gabrielson saw the 2-1 be put up. She was like, I don't think that was it. 11-9 is the lead for the Broncos now as Anderson finds an ace serve. Nearly another one, but a good take on the Broncos. Barris will send it over. Forest City will send it up to Carly Lambert, and that's down for a kill. Carly Lambert has her 4th kill of the match. And the Indians are back to within 1. Forest City trailed by 5 at 1 point. Now the Forest City has it back to within 1. 11-10. Emma Anderson serves, taken there by the Broncos. Gabrielson, really tough take here, and that's going to be 4 hits on BK. Actually, they just let it hit the floor. So it's going to be a timeout. Belmond-Klemme. Forest City has been erased a 5-point deficit to tie it up. We'll come back here in 1 minute. Here on KIOW and live at KIOW.com as Forest City and Belmond-Klemme knotted up here at 11-11. And Anderson will serve, taken there by the Broncos. Young will set it up to Lamb, and that's going to be a kill. Addie Lamb finds another one. That's her 6th of the night, and it's now 12-11. Belmond-Klemme back in the lead after Forest City trailed it by 5 at one point. They tied it up, and now the Broncos have retaken the lead 12-11. Anderson set by Hovinga. Here comes Jerome over. This will be Young who will set to Barris. Barris will strike. Blocked by the Indians and taken by Forest City. Here's a chance by Jaden Jerome, and that'll be a kill for Jerome. Give her 7 on the night, and the Indians have retied things at 12-12. So Forest City had quite a bit of a lead in the first set. Belmond-Klemme came back to win. Forest City dominated the second set, and now we're in a tough one here again in set number 3. Here's a chance for Lamb. Forest City blocks and takes, but it's sent into the net, and so it's now 13-12. Broncos back in the lead. And serve this time will come out of the hands of the libero Steenblock. Taken by Anderson, it's set by Jerome. And Carly Lambert finds a kill for Forest City. So Lambert comes back and sends one to the floor. Make it 13-13. And we've got officials pause as there's moisture being wiped up from the floor. 13-13 our score. Forest City and Belmond-Klemme in a conference matchup this evening. It'll be Brooklyn Kraft sending this one over, taken awkwardly by Gabrielson, but they are able to free ball to the Forest City side. Now the Indians set up with Hovinga, and she finds a kill. As Hovinga was kind of laughing about that one with her teammates as they all come together after the point. I think she said it was taken awkwardly off the side of her hand, and it still got down the line for a kill. 14-13, Forest City back in the lead by 1. Kraft will serve. Taken there by BK. I haven't seen much of her tonight, but she's in there now for BK. Hovinga sends this one over. A block by Hovinga. Can BK respond? They cannot. Underneath. So the Broncos went under the nets. As Young, the setter, who went underneath the net. Trying to keep that one alive, and it's now 15-13, Forest City by 2. Taken by Young, set up by Barris. Barris. Forest City blocks, but the Indians weren't able to get to it, and the Broncos back to within 1, 15-14. What's coming in is Doherty, and Doherty will go back to serve. 91% server. Excuse me, Doherty is just in. The serve is coming out of the hands of Young, the setter. Julia Anderson for Forest City. Down a kill. Julia Anderson finds her 3rd kill of the match, and Forest City's lead once again is 16-14. And Julia Anderson will go back to serve for Forest City. Taken by Gabrielson, set by Young. Barris with the attack, blocked by the Indians. Back to the BK side. Barris will attack again. Forest City will block again. They've got to go over now with Kraft. Great job by the Indians keeping that one alive with a couple of blocks. Now Barris on an attack. Kraft with a good dig. Here comes Jalen Hovinga with a strike, and that's a kill. Great job by Forest City. Extra effort. They had 2 big blocks and a nice dig from Brooklyn Kraft. And ends up as a kill, the 12th of the night for Jalen Hovinga, and Forest City retakes the lead 17-14. Julia Anderson sends that one down the line. Here's a chance. Bethany Warren over. She's got a kill. Beautifully set up there to Bethany Warren. She finds a place where nobody was at. Timeout BK. Their second and final of the match. The Indians lead 18-14. We're back in 1 minute. Welcome back here on KIOW and live at KIOW.com. Forest City leads the important set number 3, 18-14. The winner of this will only need to win one more, while the loser will have to win 2 straight. The Indians leading 18-14 with Gabrielson from the back row. And a chance now for Forest City. Bethany Warren with back-to-back kills. Another one out of the arm of Warren. She's got 4. And Forest City's lead is now 19-14. And Julia Anderson will continue to serve. Anderson serves up, taken there by BK. It'll be the seam block libero who will free ball to the Indians side. Jerome will set to Colette Logus. Back row, that's on the line and in. Colette Logus beautiful in the back row. It's in, and it's 20-14. Forest City leading this one now by 6. The Indians were trailing 10-5 at one point in this set, and now they lead 20-14. Have outscored BK 15-4 in the last 19 points. Make that 16-4 in the last 20 points. The Indians now lead 21-14.
Let's go, Blue!
16-4 in the last 20 points. For the Indians, Young will set this one up to Barris. Barris blocked by Forest City. Back on the BK side. All the Indians thought it was coming down on their side. They were all looking up for the volleyball while BK was sending it back over. Forest City is able to recover. Here comes Young as she will set this one up to Hopshite. Hopshite dug out by Jerome. Can the Indians get to the bench? No. Colette Logus goes diving into the Forest City bench, unable to get to it. And the Indians' lead is now 21-15. The run is at 16-5, and 21-15. BK back to within 6. Barris will serve. A jump serve by Barris, taken by Brooklyn Kraft. Now Kraft will have to send it over in the back row. Gabrielson set by Young. Back to Gabrielson. Blocked by the Indians at the point for BK. As they're going to say Forest City was in the... Oh, they're going to say it was 2 hits. No, never mind. They said Colette Logus was in the net. Confused for a moment. No, they said Colette Logus was in the net. So point for BK as Colette Logus in the net, 21-16. Here come the Broncos now after the Indians are able to receive. Free ball to the Forest City side. Here's Bethany Warren. That's down and in. Bethany Warren finds a kill for Forest City. It's now 22-16. The Indians run is 17-6. As the Indians will now use a towel to wipe up on their side. 22-16. Forest City trying to close out set number 3 and lead 2-1. BK took the first set 25-22. Forest City came back and took the second set 25-16. Now the Indians lead in set number 3, brought to you by Waldorf University, 22-16. Must be quite the moisture buildup. Maybe the towel was a bit damp, as that took quite a while. And now we'll see a serve coming from Hovinga. So it took a while, but Hovinga will serve now. There's a chance for BK. That one's into the ceiling. Forest City will receive. Bethany Warren sends it over. London Young. Here's Gabrielson, dug out by the Indians. Emma Anderson. Colette Logus will send it over. Back row. Good dig by Steenblock. Now BK will have the free ball. Brooklyn Kraft set up to Bethany Warren. She sends it down. Forest City with a nice setup there to Warren as she finds a 3rd kill for Forest City in the last few points, and the Indians' lead is now 23-16. The run is 18-6. Here's a chance to serve for Hovinga, taken by BK. They need this point. They don't want to let Forest City get to 24. There's a chance for Jerome, but she sends it into the net. 23-17. BK has got some life. As the serve will come out of the arms of Hopshite. 87% server sends it over, taken by Jerome. Now Hovinga, Bethany Warren, and that's a Indian point. 24-17. Forest City now just 1 point away. 19-7 is Forest City's run. After trailing 10-5, the Indians have gone on a 19-7 run over the last 26 points to lead 24-17. Colette Logus will send this one over the net. Taken there by BK, but the free ball to the Forest City side, an overpass on the dig, and Bethany Warren blocks it straight down to the floor. 25-17, Forest City wins set number 3. They go on a 20-7 run to close out the set to win 25-17 and take a 2-game-to-1 lead over BK, as Forest City will try to close things out in set number 4, and we come back in 2.5 minutes. After this. Welcome back here on KIOW, live at KIOW.com. As Forest City trying to close things out tonight over Belmond-Klemme. But they know they've got a tough task ahead of them, as the Broncos have made things at times difficult in every set so far. Not the entire sets. They won the first set, but they have made things tough at times, and Forest City will take the first point, as the Indians will lead 1-0 here in set number 4. Indians took the last 2 after the Broncos took the first set. Eke off there for BK. Here's a chance now for the Broncos. They'll free ball to the Forest City side. Into the middle, Julia Anderson. That's in for a kill. Julia Anderson has another one for Forest City. That's Anderson's 4th of the night. And it's now 2-0 Forest City, as once again we are cleaning up on the floor. Got problems on both sides. Lots of perspiration on the floor this evening. As after BK gets done using the towel, now Forest City will take the towel. And the Indians will start wiping up their side of the floor. So we've got moisture on both sides. 2-0 is the lead for Forest City in this set. Of course, it's a warm day outside. Surprisingly over 90 degrees here is late middle of September. 2-0 is the lead for Forest City in set number 4. Serve comes out of the hands of Jaden Jerome. And it'll be kept alive by BK. Yes, it does get over on a free ball on the Forest City side. Now the Broncos, we've got a point Forest City as into the net with Belmond-Klemme. We're going to say Barris's hand came down and made contact with the net when she tried to push that one over. And so it'll be a point for Forest City, make it 3-0. I'm not sure that Coach Fomborg agreed with that decision for BK, but That's what was called. Here's the strike by Barris into the net. It's all Forest City here in the first set, 4-0. The Indians start off with a 4-0 lead. And the Indians quickly trying to take a lead. Here comes Forest City's own Jeff Jerome with a rescue bunch of towels. There's a block for the Indians, now 5-0. Jeff Jerome enters at the bottom of the screen to bring a new load of towels. And the Indians will go talk about things with a timeout called by BK. We'll come back in 1 minute. It's 5-0 Indians. Welcome back here on KIOW and live at KIOW.com. 5-0 is the lead for the Indians. They're in set number 4, trying to close things out 3-1. But Belmond-Klemme is going to come firing back, and they find their first point as Addie Lamb finds the back corner and lands that one in. And it's now 5-1. BK back to within 4. See a serve coming here out of the hands of Steenblock. There's a strike for Jalen Hovinga. She finds a point, now 6-1. Jalen Hovinga having quite the night. 14-1 is the, or pardon me, 6-1 is the lead. Hovinga picking up kill number 14 on the night, which leads everybody. Kraft will send this one over, and it's an ace. Brooklyn Kraft will find her first ace serve of the evening. That's ace serve number 11 on the season for the junior. The junior that serves very well, came into tonight 97-90. Here's a chance for Barris, blocked by the Indians, kept alive by Forest City. Over by Hovinga, free ball. Here's a chance for BK. Pushed back to the Forest City side. Emma Anderson calls for it. And that's sent long. Was there a touch? No. Point BK. 7-2 is the lead. Forest City by 5 here in set number 4. And it's back in as Doherty for Belmond-Klemme. Her and Ekoff have been going back and forth. Anderson in the back row receives the serve from Young. Julia Anderson sends it over. Young will take. We'll try to pass it back to Young. She's the center, but instead it gets passed to Gabrielson, and Gabrielson sends it long. And it was received by Forest City 12th year head coach Lacey Jerome, but unfortunately that's a point for the Indians. Unfortunately for BK, fortunately for Forest City. 8-2 is the lead for the Indians. Young will set this one up, and Doherty sends that one into the net. Now 9-2 Forest City in the lead. Indians trying to close things out in 4. Belmond-Klemme took just their second set over Forest City since 2008. Took one a set in 2019, now a set here in 2022. Those are the only 2 sets that BK has taken from Forest City since 2008. Trying to take another one to push this to a game 5, and then once you get to a game 5, you never know what happens. But right now, Forest City in control 9-3. The Indians have won the last 2 sets. 25-16, 25-17. BK took the first set, 25-22. 9-3 is the lead here for Forest City as Barris will serve. It'll be a jump serve for Barris. Taken by Kraft, set up by Jerome. Blocked out by BK, so it'll be a touch off of Belmond-Klemme and a point for Forest City. 10-3 is now the lead for the Indians. Jalen Hovinga will serve. Hovinga will bounce and send it over. Young over for the Indians will take. Here's a chance for Jerome, and that's in. nobody there, nobody within 5 feet of that ball landing on the BK side, make it 11-3. And we'll see a serve coming for Jalen Hovinga once again. Jalen Hovinga leads everybody with kills tonight, 15 kills for Hovinga. Serve over the net. Taken by the Broncos. Here's Gabrielson. Jalen Hovinga will set this one up in the middle to Bethany Warren. What a strike by Warren, but an even better dig by Barris. And BK will free ball to the Forest City side. Here's a chance for Jerome. She strikes. Another good dig for BK. What can they do with it? Gabrielson sends it over. Anderson will receive. Hovinga will set this one up to Colette Logus. This time Colette Logus just sends it over at the point for Forest City. And BK is into the net once again. They're going to call, I believe, Hobscheit into the net. Point Forest City. It's all Indians here in set number 4, 12-3. Forest City trying to close the deal, close the door here on this, the 6th conference match of the year. Trying to put themselves at 6-0. Gabrielson overtaken by Emma Anderson. Here's Jaden Jerome. Jerome dug out there by Barris nicely. Young calls it. She's going to overpass it or free ball to the Forest City side. Here's Bethany Warren with a strike and a kill. Bethany Warren with an 8th kill of the night for Forest City. Makes it 13-3. Belmond-Klemme wants to call a timeout. Their final one of the set. The Indians by 10, 13-3. Welcome back here on KIOW and live at KIOW.com as Forest City is leading set number 4, 13-3. And they will serve. It'll be Jalen Hovinga who will be doing the serving here for the Indians. As she'll get the service assignment. And assistant coach Janelle Cook there on the side. Gabrielson free ball taken by Brooklyn Kraft, set up by Hovinga to Jaden Jerome. And kept alive by BK. Barris runs that one down. Gabrielson sends it to the back. Now Anderson off of Kraft. Jaden Jerome. Young will set. Gabrielson pushes it to the Forest City side. Here's a chance for Jerome. Kept alive. Hobscheit free balls it over to the Indians side. Now Colette Logus will send it over. A battle between Gabrielson and Colette Logus. A couple of sophomores there, and that one's going to get down for a kill for Forest City. Gabrielson and Colette Logus, a couple of winter sports stars for their respective schools. The best sophomores you'll find in basketball around the North Iowa area. Going at it here in volleyball. Those two are right up at the net with each other. Forest City wins the point, 14-3. Here's Gabrielson with a strike block by the Indians. Colette Logus and Bethany Warren with a tandem block there. It's now 15-3, all Forest City here in set number 4 as the Indians try to close out the night. Serve will come from Jalen Hovinga. Over the net, and it's an ace serve. Jalen Hovinga takes us the ace for Forest City. It's ace number 2 on the night for Hovinga. Gibbs will come back in for the Indians. So Jerome will come out, Gibbs will come back in with the Indians leading 16-3. And we'll see a serve by Hovinga. Over net, taken by Gabrielson. Taken by Forest City now. Here's Gibbs with an attack over, taken by Gabrielson. Young, Barris, that one hits off the top of the net and lands in. 16-4 now. Belmond-Klemme back with a point. Lamb comes in. The libero Steenblock goes out. Serve will be Habscheit. Colette Logus, Hovinga. Here's Gibbs. Is that in or out? Oh, just out on the far side. Point for BK. It's now 16-5. And Habscheit will go back to serve for the Broncos. Brooklyn Kraft. Now Bethany Warren, and that hits it into the net. Bethany Warren into the net. And it's now 16-6, so BK with 3 straight points. 16-3, it's now 16-6. And back to within 10. Hovinga will set this one up to Clint Logus. Clint Logus will attack, and that's going to be a touch on BK and a point for Forest City, making now 17-6. As Carly Lambert will come in, Brooklyn Kraft will go out. And the serve will be that of Colette Logus. So Logus will serve. Taken there by Gabrielson, sent by Young, now Barris. Is that in or out? It's just out. Right on the back corner, just missed. And Forest City's lead now is 18-6. And the Indians will continue to serve with Colette Logus. 18-6, Forest City in the lead. Remember, we have a post-game show coming up next for you. Brought to you by County Line Seeds. Here's Anderson. Gibbs. The back row. Barris. Battle for it at the net. Indians will have a chance at it. Carly Lambert finds another kill. That'll be kill number 6 on the night for Carly Lambert, and the Indians now lead 19-6. The Indians lead is 19-6. Colette Logus will continue to serve. Over, taken there by Barris, and can BK return? They cannot. Forest City now leads 26 as the Indians are 5 points away from their 11th victory of the year and their 6th conference victory. And again, continuing to keep their winning streak over BK. Which dates back almost a couple of decades. Here's a chance for Lambert, back row, no. Long. It's 20-7 is the lead for the Indians. So Forest City over the Broncos of Belmond-Klemme. 20-7. Here's the serve taken by Anderson. Now it's Gibbs over. London Young. Gabrielson now to the Forest City side. Here's Bethany Warren. Kept alive by Forest City. And attacked by BK, and that was going to be a touch. As the Broncos try to block, but it goes off the side of a block and out of bounds. It's 21-7. Forest City leads 21-7. As Eekhoff is back in. For BK, Anderson will serve. 21-7, Forest City in the lead. Trying to close things out here in set number 4. Anderson serve taken by Belmond-Klemme. It'll be Eekhoff who will send it back to the Forest City side. Set up in the middle to Julia Anderson. Blocked by BK. Can they keep it alive? They cannot. 22-7. Forest City now 3 points away. Thanks for joining us here on KIOW, live at KIOW.com. We've appreciated having you along the way. And Forest City now just a couple of points away from trying to take this set, though Belmond-Klemme has played really tough tonight against the Indians. Really, really tough match. Belmond-Klemme took the first set after Forest City had a big lead. The Broncos battled in both set 2 and set 3, but were unable to come up with a set win. And now we're trailing 22-7 here in set number 4. This fourth set score right now is not what this match has been like. It has been really close between these two teams. Julia Anderson at the back door, she sends that one down. 23-7 now, Forest City on the lead. We'll see a serve coming. Slide there by the Indians. 23-7 is the lead, and it'll be Anderson who will serve. Taken there by the Broncos, Young, Gabrielson. Here's Colette Logus, pushed up And set by Hovinga to Gibbs, and Gibbs finds a kill. So Gibbs will find a kill here for Forest City. And it's now 24-7. The Indians have set and match points. Anderson serve taken by the Broncos, set by Young. Gabrielson trying to keep it alive. Nope, it's long. And that will do it. Forest City will win set 4, 25-7. The Indians will take the match 3-1. They win set 2, 3, and 4 to win on a final score of 3-1 this afternoon. We'll come back and we will wrap things up. Our post-game show brought to you by County Line Seats is coming your way in 3 minutes. Welcome back here on KIOW and live at KIOW.com. Forest City with a 3-1 victory over Belmond-Klemme tonight by a final set scores of 22-25, 25-16, 25-17, and 25-7. It was a really good one here tonight between these two teams. Before we go any further in tonight's action, let's take a look at tonight's post-game show sponsor. Our post-game show sponsor is County Line Seeds. County Line Seeds is located off the airport blacktop in Forest City. Not happy with what you're seeing in the fields this year? Give Jake, Matt, or Chuck a call today at 641-581-3300 or visit them off the Industrial Park on the south side of Forest City. Once again, County Line Seeds is a sponsor of today's post-game show. 641-581-3300. County Line Seeds is the sponsor today. Well, we appreciate all of that sponsorship here And we appreciate you listening in and tuning in this evening for conference volleyball tonight between Belmond-Klemme and Forest City. Forest City will advance to 11 and 5 overall. They are 6-0 in the TIC West. Belmond-Klemme will fall to 7 and 9 overall. They are now 3 and 3 in the top of Iowa West, as Forest City just a couple of matches away from setting up that conference championship as long as Forest City and Lake Mills continue to win. That conference championship match could very well come back here to Forest City again this season. So it should be a lot of fun, but both teams still got to take care of business throughout the rest of the year. Again, Forest City wins tonight by a final set scores of 22-25, 25-16, 25-17, and 25-7. The final scores, Belmond-Klemme takes their first set off the Indians since 2019, their second set off of Forest City since 2008. I want to thank John Lentz back at the studio for all of his hard work this evening. He was on our board. We really do appreciate it. I want to thank all of our great sponsors, all of you sponsors. We really do appreciate it. Our post-game show today brought to you by County Line Seeds and all the rest of our sponsors. If you heard a sponsor on tonight's broadcast, go out, patronize those businesses, and tell them that you appreciate their support of Forest City Indian High School athletics. Again, final score tonight in Forest City, it is the Indians 3, the Broncos 1. We'll see you tomorrow night from the Paddlers Tap in Forest City, as we will have Warriors live 7 to 8 p.m. We'll see you from the Tap tomorrow. We hope you can come down and join us and enjoy all that the Paddlers Tap has to offer in Forest City. So we hope to see you there tomorrow night. And then we're to Osage on Friday for football action between the Indians and the Green Devils. Should be a lot of fun. Again, from Forest City High School, it's the Indians 3, the Broncos 1. That'll do it for tonight's action. Thanks so much. Good night, everybody. I'm Sarah Negastal.